a boxing pro weighed in after Shakur Stevenson's dominant performance against Teofimo Lopez. And the reaction was eye-opening. While fans praised the clean victory, the expert focused on how it happened. Control, timing, and complete command of the ring. Many expected a back-and-forth war, but Stevenson shut that down early, neutralizing Lopez's explosiveness and dictating every exchange. The contrast between expectation and reality was stark. This wasn't just a win. It was a statement. According to the pros' breakdown, the performance revealed a level of maturity and mastery that could redefine Stevenson's place among boxing's elite. Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy back in the building, former boxing pro, longtime fight analyst. And today, we gotta talk about something that honestly shook the boxing world. I just finished watching Shakur Stevenson absolutely dominate Teofimo Lopez. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this was one of the most complete, surgical performances I've seen in years. This wasn't just a win. This was a statement. This was Shakur Stevenson telling everybody, I am that guy. And if you're a boxing fan, you know exactly what I mean. From the opening bell, you could tell Shakur came in with a very specific game plan. Calm, patient, no wasted movement, no rush, no ego. As a former fighter, that's the first thing that jumped out to me. When a boxer looks that relaxed against a dangerous opponent like Teofimo Lopez, that tells you they've done their homework and they trust their skills completely. Teofimo came in aggressive, trying to establish his power early, trying to get Shakur's respect. But Shakur never gave it to him. Not once. He stayed just outside that danger zone, sliding his feet, pivoting, making Teofimo reset over and over again. And let's talk about the footwork, because that was the foundation of everything. Shakur's footwork in this fight was elite on another level. He wasn't just moving to survive. He was moving to control. Every step had a purpose. He was cutting off Teofimo's angles while making Teofimo miss by inches. And when you're a puncher like Teofimo, missing by inches is exhausting. It messes with your confidence. It messes with your timing. And you could see it starting to frustrate him by the third round. Now defensively, this was a masterclass. I'm talking about shoulder rolls, subtle head movement, half steps back, catching shots on the gloves, rolling with punches. Shakur wasn't taking clean shots. And people need to understand, defense like that doesn't just happen. That's years of discipline, sparring, and ring IQ. Teofimo would throw combinations, and Shakur would either make him miss completely or block the shot and counter immediately. That's demoralizing for any fighter, especially one who feeds off momentum. Offensively, Shakur was sharp, precise, and patient. He didn't load up on punches. He didn't chase a knockout. He picked Teofimo apart with jabs, straight lefts, quick counters to the body, and sneaky uppercuts when Teofimo leaned in. The jab alone deserves its own conversation. Shakur's jab was snapping Teofimo's head back, disrupting his rhythm, and setting up everything else. People underestimate how damaging a consistent jab can be, not just physically, but mentally. By the middle rounds, you could see the tide fully turning. Teofimo started lunging. That's always a bad sign. When a fighter starts reaching for shots, it means they're desperate. And Shakur took full advantage of that. He bait Teofimo in, stepped back just enough, and fired clean counters down the middle. Those are the punches judges love. And more importantly, those are the punches that win fights. One thing I really appreciated was Shakur's discipline. There were moments where he clearly hurt Teofimo. Moments where a lot of fighters would rush in and try to finish. Shakur didn't. He stayed smart. He stayed composed. He understood that dominance doesn't always mean a knockout. Sometimes dominance is making another elite fighter look ordinary. And that's exactly what was happening. Let's give Teofimo some respect though, because he showed heart. He kept coming forward. He tried to adjust. He tried to switch things up, throw different looks, go to the body, increase his output. But every adjustment he made, Shakur had an answer. That's what separates great fighters from good ones. Shakur was always one step ahead. He was reading Teofimo like a book. Late in the fight, the difference in energy levels was obvious. Shakur looked fresh, bouncing lightly, breathing easy. Teofimo looked drained, frustrated, and mentally worn down. That's the unseen damage of a fight like this. When you're constantly missing, constantly getting counted, constantly failing to impose your will, it breaks you down. By the championship rounds, it wasn't even about who was winning anymore. It was about how wide the gap had become. Shakur was in complete control. He was choosing when to engage, when to disengage, when to press, when to coast. That's veteran-level control. And remember, Shakur is still young. That's the scary part for the rest of the division. As a former pro, I always look at fights from the perspective of, what would I do in there? And honestly, against a Shakur Stevenson fighting like that, there are no easy answers. You can't outbox him easily. You can't pressure him recklessly. And you can't rely on power alone. He neutralizes your strengths and exposes your weaknesses without taking unnecessary risks. This performance changes everything. It changes Shakur's position in the pound-for-pound conversation. It changes how other champions look at him. And it changes how promoters and fans view potential matchups. Because after a performance like this, you're not just winning belts, you're building legacy. People have criticized Shakur in the past, saying he's too defensive, too safe, not exciting enough. If you're one of those people, I hope you were watching closely. This was high-level boxing at its finest. This was chess, not checkers. And real boxing fans appreciate this kind of brilliance. For Teofimo, this fight is a reality check. It doesn't erase his accomplishments, but it does show that there are levels to this game. He's still dangerous, still talented, but against someone with Shakur's skill set and discipline, he needs serious adjustments going forward. For Shakur, this fight sends a message to the entire sport. He's not just a defensive wizard. He's a complete fighter. He can control distance, dictate pace, land clean shots, and shut down elite competition. That's what champions do. Walking away from this fight, the biggest takeaway for me is this. Shakur Stevenson is entering his prime. And if he keeps performing like this, we're witnessing the rise of a generational talent. Nights like this are remembered. Performances like this define careers. If you're a young fighter watching this, study it. Study the footwork, the patience, the discipline, the IQ. This is how you win at the highest level without shortening your career. And if you're a fan, appreciate it, because fighters like this don't come around often. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Did Shakur exceed your expectations? What's next for him after a performance like this? Who do you want to see him fight next? Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we're breaking down all the biggest fights, raw and unfiltered. I'll catch y'all in the next one.